There is one animal on Earth that has to hide from its own sun. And you are it. Every other creature here was built for this place. Let me show you why that feeling never goes away. Look at the rest of life on this planet. Every species spent millions of years being shaped by Earth. A fish grew gills so it could drink the water. A bird grew hollow bones light enough to leave the ground. A polar bear grew fur thick enough to laugh at the cold. Each one fits its home like a key fits a lock. Then there is you. You stay in your own sunlight too long and your skin burns. You stand up straight and your spine slowly falls apart. You bring new life into the world and it can kill you. And you are the only animal that looked around and thought, something here is wrong. So tonight, sit with the strangest question you have never asked out loud. What if you do not belong here because you did not start here? Start with that sun above you. A lizard will lie in direct light for hours and feel only joy. Dogs, cats, horses, elephants all spend their lives under that same star. Their skin, their fur, their color, all perfectly tuned to it. Yours is not. An afternoon outside leaves you scorched and blistered. So you did something no other animal has ever done. You invented a paste and you smear it on your body to survive your own daylight. You needed chemistry just to walk outside. Now reach back and feel your spine. 4 out of 5 people will live in back pain at some point. When almost everyone breaks the same way, you stop blaming the person. You start questioning the design. Your spine was shaped to hang like a bridge across 4 legs. Then evolution stood that bridge straight up on end. Gravity now crushes down through discs that were never meant to take it. Animals built upright from the start, like the kangaroo, never feel this. Yours was not built upright, it was reused. Now think about how you came into the world. Human birth is the most dangerous birth of any mammal alive. The baby's head barely squeezes through, it almost does not fit. For most of history, giving birth was a leading cause of death. No other animal routinely dies just trying to be born. A foal stands and walks within an hour of being born. Your baby cannot even lift its own head for months. You arrive more helpless than any creature that ever lived. Your body has a guard whose only purpose is to keep you safe. But yours keeps declaring war on things that cannot hurt you. Pollen, peanuts, dust, a cat's fur, a piece of shellfish. Around 1/3 of people on Earth carry some allergy. Your own defenses attack the very air and food around you. But the strangest thing about you is not in your body at all. It is in your mind. Not one other creature on this planet understands that its own end is coming. A dog does not lie awake fearing the end. A dolphin never has a crisis about the meaning of it all. An elephant does not build a religion to cope with mortality. But you do, every single one of you. You walk through life fully aware that one day you will simply stop. And instead of accepting it, you spent all of history trying to beat it. You built temples reaching toward the sky. You wrote whole philosophies about what waits beyond. You raised entire civilizations around one question: what happens when we die? So ask it honestly, why would evolution hand you this dread? What advantage does it give an animal to lie awake afraid of nothing it can see? It feels less like a gift and more like a glitch. The kind you would find in something that landed in the wrong place. And then there is the clue that is hardest to wave away. Every species lives in balance with the world around it. Predators hold the prey in check. Prey holds the plants in check. It is a closed loop. Everyone plays a part. Everyone except you. You level the forests. You poison the rivers. You fill the air with gases that heat the whole planet. You have erased thousands of species, and you are not slowing down. You are not taking part in this ecosystem. You are taking it apart. And that is exactly how an invasive species behaves. Something dropped onto a world it was never built for. It breaks the rules because the rules were never written for it. So if you really do not belong here, then where did you come from? Here is where it stops being a feeling and becomes a question scientists actually asked. In 1973, one of the greatest scientists alive wrote a paper. His name was Francis Crick. He had already won the Nobel Prize for cracking the code inside every living cell. He helped read the twisted blue ladder that holds the recipe for every living thing. And then he studied how living things appeared here, and something bothered him. He proposed something almost no one expected. He gave it a name, directed Panspermia. His claim was simple: the first spark of life was never lit on this planet. That something out there deliberately seeded it here. The man who read the language of DNA said, "This does not quite add up." And the evidence behind him is not easy to brush aside. Life appeared on Earth around 3.8 billion years ago. Yet the planet beneath you has existed for only 4.5 billion. That means life showed up almost the moment the planet could hold it. The world was still a hellscape of molten rock and poison gas. Asteroids were still hammering the surface, and somehow life simply appeared, almost overnight. Then in 1969, a rock fell out of the sky in Australia. It was a meteorite, and scientists cracked it open. Inside, they found over 90 different amino acids, the raw ingredients of life, drifting through the dark on a single rock. And several matched the ingredients sitting inside your own cells right now. So the seeds of life can cross the void, but could anything live through the journey? Meet the tardigrade, a microscopic creature like a tiny 8-legged bear. Scientists threw it into the raw vacuum of space. They blasted it with cosmic radiation, and it survived all of it. In 2019, a spacecraft carrying tardigrades crashed onto the moon. Some may still be up there, sitting in the dust, waiting. Life is not chained to one world. It can stow away and sail from planet to planet. In 2013, an ecologist gathered all of this into one book. His name was Dr. Ellis Silver. The book was called Humans Are Not From Earth. He gathered the burning skin, the aching spine, the wild allergies, the deadly births. He even pointed at your inner clock, which does not quite match Earth's day. These, he argued, were not random quirks. They were the marks of a creature tuned for somewhere else. It is a thrilling idea, so let me be honest with you. Ordinary biology has a powerful reply to nearly every one of these. It is called evolutionary mismatch. Take the back pain. Your ancestors rose onto 2 legs only around 6 million years back. That sounds ancient, but evolution moves painfully slow. Your spine simply has not had enough time to finish the upgrade. Now the sunburn. Your ancestors lost their fur so they could run for hours without overheating. Bare sweaty skin cools far better than a thick coat of hair. You traded your fur for the power to outrun nearly everything. The sunburn is just the bill that came with the deal. And the dangerous birth. Your brain grew big faster than your hips could widen to let it out. Researchers gave that trap a name, the obstetric dilemma. Evolution tried to make you smart and upright at once, and the body got caught in between. Even the destruction has a plain explanation. You evolved in tiny bands where the world felt endless and your numbers felt small. Your brain is wired for today's survival, not for steering a whole planet. You are not an alien invader. You are an animal that grew powerful far too fast. So the case is closed, right? Not so fast. Because after every neat explanation, one mystery refuses to die. The speed. In 4 billion years of life, nothing has ever done what you did. Dolphins have been here for 50 million years. They are clever, they talk, they have deep social lives. And across every one of those years, they have not crafted one tool. Chimpanzees figured out sticks 4 million years ago, and they have not improved on it since. You went from a sharpened rock to a nuclear weapon in 2 million years. From a campfire to a space station orbiting overhead. From cave paintings to thinking machines. 200 years ago, there were no railroads. 125 years ago, no airplane had ever flown. 75 years ago, no one had touched space. 35 years ago, there was no internet at all. Nothing in the history of life ever sped up like this. And scientists still cannot fully agree on why. Some say it was language. Some say it was fire and cooking, which fed bigger brains. Some blame one tiny gene that perhaps switched on real language. Others say it was teaching, each generation building on the last. All of it probably matters. None of it explains the sheer speed. You went from prey to ruler of the planet in a geological blink. Crick could not explain it. Silver could not explain it. And modern science can explain the pieces, but not yet the whole. The truest thing science can offer you today is small. We do not fully know. And that, more than any answer, is what keeps the question alive. So let me bring you back down gently. It is probably not true that you are an alien. The proof points to you rising from this very world, carved by the same forces as every other living thing. But almost certainly is not the same as definitely. And when the man who decoded DNA frowns and says, "Something here does not add up," that is not a conspiracy, that is just science being honest. The same restlessness that made you build rockets and telescopes, and send tiny robots to other worlds just to see what is there. Maybe that restlessness is not a flaw in you. Maybe it is a clue. Because if you truly are from here, then you are the most wonderful strangeness this planet ever made. A creature that burns in its own light, bends under its own gravity, and still cannot stop looking up. And if you're not from here, then you have been quietly trying to find your way home for 200,000 years. And maybe one day you finally will. Either way, look up tonight. You belong to that sky more than you think.